All right. If you are currently away from your desk, grabbing that last little bit of coffee or tea or water or doing a quick stretch break, I'm going to invite you to come back. We're going to go ahead and get started here today so we can get straight to our student presenters who have done some really excellent work with their mini grant program. My name is Will Brummett, and I have the absolute honor and joy of getting to be the student engagement manager here at Campus Compact. That means I get to work alongside some of our best and brightest student change makers across the country within the Campus Compact network and family. And so I'm really grateful for you all giving the gift of your time and attention here today, particularly in these hot summer months. And so I hope today serves as a time just to slow down and reflect and listen to some wonderful students, but also hopefully, like me, will feel some hope around the great work that young people and student change makers are actually making every single day. And so what we're going to do today is I'm going to first just sort of start us off with a quick grounding and just sort of tell you that we will not, excuse me, we will not be here without the excellent support of our partners with the All-State Foundation. The All-State Foundation is really pioneering the investment and advancement of the youth empowerment, but also youth leadership and student voice and student leadership. And so they are the ones who sort of gave us these initial funds to try out this mini grant program with our Newman Civic Fellows. And so all the products you're going to hear out today, all the wonderful things that the students did were really made possible by the continued partnership and support of the All-State Foundation, supporting our Newman Civic Fellows, recognizing that they're not just the leaders of tomorrow, but they are already the leaders of today in their own communities. So I just want to say a personal thank you to the All-State Foundation for all they allowed these great students to do through this work. I want to give a brief overview of the Newman Civic Fellowship Program for those who maybe are not familiar in terms of like, what is a Newman Civic Fellow? Who are these students? These students are really remarkable. The Newman Civic Fellowship Program was actually created in honor of Frank Newman, who was a co-founder of Campus Compact and really deeply believed in the power of student leadership and student voice. And so in his memory, we created a year-long fellowship that basically provides students from all across the country, any student who's a part of a Campus Compact school could be potentially nominated. And each university nominates one outstanding leader who comes together for a year-long fellowship experience. And they have annual convenings that we provide them, monthly training and networking sessions, a mentorship program where they meet with the local mentor 4 times throughout the year. And then they also have a series of different professional development opportunities to prepare them for what's next after their Newman year or even after graduation. The fellowship recognizes and really supports all types of community committed students. So for some schools, that means that their student they recognize or they nominate is a student who's doing great direct service, working in a local nonprofit. Other schools nominate students who are doing great community engaged research or philanthropy work. It's really recognizing students who just ultimately are all committed to really tackling the sort of sticky or difficult challenges that their local communities are facing, whether it be on their campus, in the local community, or even in the global community. Newmans are really come in all sort of backgrounds, interest levels, shapes, and sizes. Our cohort this year, our 23-24 cohort, for instance, actually had Newmans ranging in ages from 9 to 57. They're all different races, gender, sexual orientations, economic statuses, and they're from literally all parts of the country. We had 38 different states represented last year, and we'll have 38 different states represented in the incoming class as well. The only requirement for Newmans, if you're interested in this program or if your school is a Campus Compact member but haven't yet to nominate, or you maybe think about wanting to do it, the only requirement is that you're a community committed student and that they have 1 year left of eligibility. So that means that they're either going into their rising senior year, or if at a 2-year university and they're transferring to a 4-year, that's also okay. The only time we typically accept students who are just graduated or won't just finish the undergrad is if they're going straight into a graduate program at the university. We do allow students, though, if they are finishing at one institution and transferring to another institution, to actually still be nominated if you want to. They just represent the school that they just graduated from that nominated them. So for particularly our 2-year institutions or students who are going to grad programs, you still can nominate them, but they won't nominate this. They don't have to go, the next school they're transferring to doesn't have to be a compact school to be nominated. The only requirement is that the nominating school be a Campus Compact member for that. So at the end, we're going to give you some opportunities to learn more about the program, but really, really encourage you, if you're a Campus Compact member and you don't have a Newman for next year, please reach out to us. We actually have a special opportunity for a few more folks to be added for next year's cohort. Or if you're not sure about joining Campus Compact, and you're like, is it worth sort of the membership or what does that look like? We love to tell you more about the student side specifically and all the different benefits that not only Newmans, but really a lot of students on our campus can grow from. So I want to talk to a little bit again about the mini grant program and what sort of the vision of this was. When we were sort of originally setting this off and trying this out this year, we had three sort of main pillars. The first was obviously we wanted to make community impact. We wanted to impact communities, local communities, national communities, global communities, however the student leader defined community all across the country. But we also wanted to make sure we really are investing in student leadership because too often students are maybe working on a project or they were given the opportunity to work with a nonprofit leader who has the grant, but very rarely are they trusted with actually the funds themselves to manage, to oversee, to see a product from start to finish. And then lastly, we really wanted this to be a part for education and reflection, recognizing that all of our students, as we've said, are leaders of today and not just tomorrow. We also wanted them to learn from this experience as it prepares them for whatever field they're going into. So the specifics of the program, in terms of what it actually looked like on paper, in sort of the framework, was that all Newman Civic Fellows could apply for a grant between $500 to $1,500, or they could apply for a joint project of up to $3,000 with another Newman. All the projects had to be completed by June 30th of this year, so they were awarded in late fall and they had to be completed in the spring semester. And the projects could be doing multiple things. We sort of gave them a broad sort of brush of options this first year. So